On point. On point.
Nice, Abi.
Again, let's do it again.
On point. On point. On point.
On point.
God damn it. On point.
On point.
Yeah, man. On point.
So there was a study in 2011 where they had 5 people from different backgrounds, like Austrian with no background, Nigerian with Austrian with Nigerian background, Austrian with Chinese background, Austrian with Turkish background, and Austrian with Serbian background.
Okay.
And they had the same CV, and what came out is that Austrian with Nigerian background had like 20% of the opportunities that Austrian with no background had. And then there was the Chinese, and then I can't completely remember the numbers, but of course Austrian with no background had the best opportunities, and I think
God damn, really?
but really Austrian Nigerians or African heritage
Lowest.
had the lowest percentage, and then Turkish. So you see, where bias is.
Yeah.
It is real.
So
How we can.
because of the picture.
Okay.
Was it Frage?
Yeah.
Because of the picture.
The picture is also part of the problem.
No,
I think so.
The study.
Yeah,
Was it because of the picture?
The picture and the name, of
The
course.
picture of the
name.
The picture of the name.
Okay.
Of course, we cannot change the name. That's
Yeah,
not
it's
something we can.
impossible.
But what we can do is get rid of the pictures.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe we can. So we have it in France. We have it in the UK.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is in the United States, but I think this could change something. And again, we have a lot of parties talking about farm quota, which is very important. Why not talk about also quota for people with migration background? This is also a thing we can make happen, because why is it is so important that there is some kind of representation, that we see, hey, I can also be a politician. I see that. I can be a journalist. As a kid, I never saw that. The only thing I saw were rappers in the United States. You know what I mean? But I didn't see a politician nowhere. I didn't see.
Maybe in political institutions. I don't think you should have like a quota in private sector.
Okay, but yeah. I don't know how
think
this.
so, because if I have my own company, I have a certain clientele that I want, or certain people that I want to represent. So
Depending on what.
like
you
let's
do.
say like it's a family business. You're telling me like
That's true. I do agree.
so. Definitely in the public sector you should have a quota, or in the private sector. Like, you have a family business. Somebody says you have to employ a Turkish.
No,
It's not. It won't make
No,
sense.
it won't make sense.
A Turkish won't even employ me. We'll be like, what's the
But like,
Turkish
for
business?
example,
even Afro to it.
It means at the end of the day, none of it makes sense because there is no diversity at the end of the day. If you say in the private sector as well, there shouldn't be a quota. Because what he's trying to say now is like if every one of us could come together and if everything is mixed, either public or private, you get what I'm saying? Like even if it's even in the private sector, you should at least not be biased. Still put someone there.
Yeah, but
Because if the people we're talking about, if they keep the same energy, like what you just said now, and they say, okay, my family is going to be there, my friends are going to be there, which is probably what they're doing at the moment, nothing's going to change.
I think the reason why this is so technical is because of what he now said in the beginning. I see it from a different angle now. For example, you'll be in Italy or you're here in an Italian restaurant and someone serves you ice cream. It's a different feel. I'm imagining like a black guy serving me ice cream in an Italian restaurant. Everyone else is white, Italian. But what happens if he sees himself as an Italian now? The problem is we still see color,
as well.
So now this discussion now, what we heard in the beginning, it's not valid. You need to see from a different perspective. But I do still agree with Maiwa, if you have like a certain look now, because those that study business, whatever, there's something called corporate identity, and there's a way you want your company to look. So if that involves also like your heritage, where you're from, if someone is not from there, you can't, involve them. But I've seen that as well, where people are like, it doesn't matter where you come from. If your certificate is right, you're supposed to get a job.
Yeah.
Because in my school, like when I was in school, there was this friend of mine. His dad had like some perfume and whatever, and he was like looking for people who could work for 2-3 months. So I was like, oh, I would love to, I would love to gain that experience. And he told me straight up, nah, bro, my dad won't take you. And another friend as well, because he was Turkish, he was like, nah, bro, my dad won't take you because he's Albanian. He's like, he won't take you. So then he, without checking like qualifications, he took those, the 2 other pupils who were from the same culture. That's it.
Yeah.
He didn't check anything. He's like,
You can, at the end of the day, you can only take certain things with a grain of salt. But I would definitely say it has to happen on the public sector, which means that showing diversity has to happen with the media perception. So you shouldn't necessarily force some people in the private sector to do certain things that they don't want to do. But in the public sector, you should definitely enforce to be like, oh, not every Nigerian is doing that. Not every Congolese is doing certain things, because you have a lot of Egyptians that are doctors. Not all of them are just, I don't know, selling shawarma. So you need to enforce certain pictures and certain images. Like if we were now in the UK or in France, everybody knows like there are lots of Nigerians that are doing business on both spectrum, on the good side and the bad side. If you're in Congo, if you're in France or Belgium, you see Congolese doing things on both spectrum. So we need to enforce those type of pictures. So that means publicly, we should definitely have a quote so that people will be like, oh, there are actually African doctors out there, or there are African IT specialists, or people that are working in banking or whatever you have. It really depends. But in private sector, I don't want you, because I'm thinking of myself to be an entrepreneur, so I don't want you to be telling me like, you have to.
But I think it makes a difference if you're a small company or a big company that is employing a lot of people. You cannot compare. I think you always have to look at the context as well.
Exactly.
Because a small company, of course, is a bit different. I mean, it's always good to be diverse, and I believe that also studies have shown that to be open-minded and to be flexible. But it's very difficult to enforce something like that, to say, okay, you have to fulfill this quota. But big companies, of course, we have already rules and laws that prohibit companies to say, we don't want black people in the company, or we don't want Turkish people. That would be that would be the worst thing.
Like your credentials,
to contribute to what you said. To contribute to what you said. I think in the private sector, once again, what you said, like, you don't want people telling you what to do, because now we're talking about the certificate. Me as a black man, maybe my certificate is trash, and you see a person you wouldn't want in your company, and he has the perfect certificate, he has everything. So would you take him or me?
I'll probably take. Why? Do you see? No, you can spin it. You can be like, yo. The thing is, like, the way you presented yourself is way better than your certificate.
Yeah, adding context now.
No, but that's how. That's what I'm saying. Like, they can always
certificate
twist
right now.
and turn. It'll be like, okay, maybe your certificate doesn't match what I'm looking for, but your energy does, and I know that you will definitely contribute to this company because you are willing to learn, etc., etc.
You're adding context. The question was, would you take the guy with the less certificate or the guy with the...
I would never go for certificates. It doesn't matter.
But it's anyway, every company anyways goes what is the energy between us?
Exactly.
And the energy between us is like it's more likely to be better if we're from the same culture. But I think it should be and I think it is prohibited to say I'm not taking someone because of your background. It's not because of that, but it should be prohibited, because we live in a diverse society, and this would destroy the fabric of what makes us come together.
But now I could actually go against what you're saying, because when you're free state, now you're telling the people what you should do. Is that kind of like?
No, we're not saying
no,
what.
no,
No, we're not
But
saying.
doesn't it constrict
No, no, no,
liberty?
no.
I'm just saying like it's kind of like constricts my liberty. Now you're telling me what I do.
No.
As an owner of a company.
Yeah.
But like since we're kind of like already moving into I guess the second segment now, which is working in Vienna, and not only working in Vienna, Austria, but like also the racism background. You said something before, and I want to tie it into this now. You said that newspapers, when they write, or if they describe the crime scene, what happened, who was involved, if it's an Austrian, there's a way they don't mention. They just put the name, the age in clamor, we know, and they move on. But if it's someone that has other background from where they come from, you will see it, right? So, and you were now saying that, okay, pictures should be removed from CVs because we know that they do it in London, in France. And to add upon that as well, you what's it called? The last thing that you said was that companies should employ basically everyone. They shouldn't have someone they don't employ.
Mm-hmm.
How, as a political party, do you guys want to enforce that?
For like to be straight, this is something we haven't we haven't talked about it yet, but we have as a party because we're a very new party. But this is my position, and a lot of people I talk to, that's their position. Just to make it clear, how do we enforce that? If we are
Tough question, right?
if we are in parliament, I mean, and we ensure that people and the other parties are convinced by that Green Party and the Neos, we can make that happen. We can have laws, like we can say newspapers are not allowed to, if it's a very simple law.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to mention the background if it's not necessary. You know what I mean? You're not allowed. It's very easy. If you don't if you still do it, you face penalties. Easy. You can also about jobs, no pictures allowed. If you get caught,
Yeah, that's more simple.
penalty.
Yeah.
So I think you can enforce it.
Mm-hmm.
You can enforce it. I don't think it's that difficult to enforce.
Yeah, so the backup question would be now, since the whole Black Lives Matter came and everything, and we have an episode about that. There's a section where we're talking about racism, how to get rid of racism. Do you believe it's possible to get rid of racism?
Tough question. I do believe racism, because racism it's very difficult.
I think when it comes to racism, what I really realized, because I saw one video about I think there were 4 black people, and we're talking about classic questions that an Austrian would ask somebody that's of African descent or black descent. That typical one, sprichst du Deutsch? Is that racist for you?
That's the thing.
I just say yes. Is it racist for you? Sprichst du Deutsch?
For me, no.
No, boy, it feels weird.
Yeah,
I would say.
because I've been with some
It
people.
feels
They
weird.
get annoyed. They get not even sprichst du Deutsch. So I've seen people get vexed if they're hanging out. We're hanging out, and someone just comes up to us and speaks English.
Okay.
Some people get mad about that.
Yeah. But what about you? Is it racist to you? Somebody else tells you yo, du sprichst du Deutsch?
I can it's very difficult to say. I mean,
And that's the
it's-
thing. And that's the thing. And
It's very contextual. It's very.
And that's what
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see there. And that racism is always in the eye of the beholder. It's never, you cannot never generalize, because a lot of things that people would a few black people will be like, yeah, that's racist. Actually, that's not racist to me, because I'm probably doing the same thing. If I see somebody that's francophone, I'll be talking to that person in English, and he could be like, why don't you assume that I speak French? Get me? So
I get you. That's
so
why
for me
I
it's like me and you have been talking about if I don't want to converse with anybody that's racist, I don't, because you like to teach them and educate them. I'm just like, I don't really care. No, seriously. So a lot of things that people will be like, oh, just we said, I'm like, cool, thank you. Say the same thing back. So I don't see that as racist
Or
because
you'll be like, do how?
yeah, because a lot of things is like you need to ask certain questions, and it's always like if somebody is willing to answer those questions. So if I have a good day today and I feel like I want to answer those questions, I won't feel like it's racism. Because if we constantly be like, oh, do speak Deutsch, it's racist, or all kinds of things, we'll realize that white people won't want to talk to us anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So you should not generalize
It's
like
like a wall you're putting off. It's like
exactly.
Let's pass the wall and start having that conversation.
Let's be honest. If I see a white person living in Nigeria, I'm like, where are you from? No, seriously, because I want to know. Because it's interesting. It could be like, okay, I'm from Poland, but I've been living all my life in Nigeria. I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're having a conversation. You are a Nigerian Austrian. That's a fantastic conversation.
And this is where the question comes: do you speak any of our languages?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's making sense.
Yeah.
Because if I see someone in Nigeria, a white man to be precise, and I ask him, where are you from? And they say, I'm from Poland, I'm from Austria. Do you speak Yoruba, Igbo, or something like that? So, thinking in its own perspective, in its own way now, kind of realize, okay, because I said it wasn't racist, but it feels weird.
Tying back to what he said, let me be honest with you. The first segment was very, enlightening. Like I'm seeing things differently now. So what happens if you see a foreigner in Nigeria?
Where are you from?
And then he tells you I'm from Kaduna.
I'm like, what?
Because he feels that's where he was born.
But
He's white, but he was born in Nigeria.
like I said,
so now he will say I'm Nigerian. How will you feel?
I will not feel any different because I think that it's your prerogative to say that you're Nigerian, but also something else.
No,
I think that's beautiful.
I would put them a question like, where are you from?
Get to the house.
no, I wouldn't say that.
Because
I would
he was
further the
born there
question.
now.
I would further the question like, yeah, where's your offspring? Not Kaduna. Like,
Okay. What would you say now if someone? Because the thing is that he said that if someone
He said that
asked him,
he's Austrian.
no, but then he said when they asked him, yeah, but where are you? Like, where are you actually from? Then then it votes, and he said, I live in the 22nd.
You see, I
So
would
now
never,
it's
I would
so
never
like-
say that. That's the thing. I would never say that.
He's saying now that if I ask you where are you from, and the person says Nigeria, then he says no, where are you? Like
That's what I'm saying.
the person will say
You
Kaduna now.
see, it's the same thing.
But it's still kind of mind fucking because it's like
yeah.
right.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like,
That's
sometimes,
not my color.
that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes you have to put yourself on the other side as well.
Mm.
Some people don't mean harm. They just really want to know and want to talk to them like, yo, my parents are from Nigeria, but I've been living all my life in Austria. I am in Austria. They'll be like, okay, cool. The newer generation, they do understand. They'll be like, where come den eten here? So they will be like, oh, my eten, we say, So, but I'm always of the opinion like, I know that I'm not Austrian. I don't look Austrian.
You don't behave Austrian.
Partially. So I would tell you what you want to hear. But that doesn't negate the fact that I'm still living in a cultural, partially Austrian life.
So look, I think what I think is we live in the 21st century, and nothing is cut and clear. We all have different identities. We have different identities, and I think who are we to question the identity of someone else? So no. If a white person in Nigeria says, I'm a Nigerian, and you say no, or you say, but where you... No, he's Nigerian.
The question
He's
is
Nigerian.
not saying no. The question is not saying, if someone tells me he's from Nigeria, I wouldn't say, no, you're not from Nigeria. What I said was like, I would ask further questions. Like, where is your offspring?
Yeah.
Where did you really come from?
Yeah, but this
is what the other people are doing.
But this
when you tell them you're from Austria, they're like, yeah, man.
This really come from is always a question like we all migrated one time in our life. Yeah. Like I actually checked out my background, I don't know how to say it, my descent, and I'm from West Africa. I'm from I have European descent as well. You know what I mean? So we all moved. All of us. Yeah. This thing we have in our head that black is from Africa, that Europe is white, and so on. It is just in history, there were black Europeans as well. In history, there were black Europeans as well. In the UK, they just had a study that the first UK person wasn't like they look now. They were darker.
It takes
So
6,000
and this changes the whole picture. So we have to go beyond that. Black is that. White is that. You know what I mean? It has changed. It is different. It is just a concept we have constructed because of, especially since the 18th century, when nation states were more, because it wasn't always the case. Austria was a Vielvölkerstaat till 1918. There was Austrian-Hungarian empire. So it was Austria something a completely new concept. Anyways, so if an Austrian says, "I'm the real Austrian," no, your parents came, like your descent are from Hungary, from Eastern Europe, from all over Europe. Check your blood, you know what I mean? So it's just we all mix somehow, you know.
I still don't mind people asking. That's what I'm saying. Like for instance, it's not about Europe, because in Europe you always have to like put yourself and choose one nation. But if you're American, like obviously the African Americans have it difficult because they cannot like pinpoint where they're from. But if you ask like a white person from in America, they'll tell you like, okay, I'm from Massachusetts, but my descendants are Irish, Scottish, boom, boom, boom. So they will list all of it, and it's exciting to say that this is where I'm from. Yeah. So, but because we are Austrian, they'll be like, you can only claim one thing. I'm like, I don't want to claim one thing.
You can have multiple identities.
I'm telling you, I'm Nigerian, but I live in Austria.
That's
Why
nice. It's not
nice.
Big deal. It's not big deal.
No big deal. It's nice to say that you're from multiple states.
Yeah.
From multiple places.
Exactly. And I think it's just important that we, from a political point of view, it's important also to say we are from here, because as long as you are a guest, you are not a full member of this country. And as long as you're not a full member, you are not able to shape the country. Yeah. So that's why it's so important to say, I'm also part of this country and I want to shape this country. You know, and that's why it's so important to me. You know,
like that's a perfect message to end.
Yeah, that's a perfect message. But at the end of the day, that doesn't mean you should completely, I wouldn't say deny that you're from other country as well. Because, for example, people like Trevor Noah, you guys know Trevor Noah.
Yeah.
He's from South Africa.
Yeah.
And he's currently helping the American government. And still, he didn't deny, I wouldn't say deny, he didn't say, yeah, I'm American now.
Yeah, that's the difference between integration and assimilation. Assimilation just means that you completely wipe where you're from. So if you integrate, that means you're part of the community, but you're still other. So we are all part of the Austrian community, but we are still other.
Yeah, that's
and
what
I still promote
we are part of the community. But according to him, it's like, yeah, I have to say, I'm here. I'm this person. I'm this country. I belong here. I belong to nothing else.
No. You can say whatever you want to, but you can say I'm Austrian and Nigerian. You can say Austrian of Nigerian heritage. You can say whatever. I'm not denying my. I'm not denying my Nigerian heritage, but it doesn't make me less Austrian. Yeah. And that is what I want to say. It doesn't make me less Austrian. That's very
important. When
people
ask you mention Nigeria as well.
Yeah,
like Austrian of Nigerian heritage.
It depends. Sometimes not.
The reason, that's why I'm saying this is something we can learn. The reason why he keeps pushing I'm from Austria.
Yeah, it's a goal. We know.
There's a what's it called? There's something. It's profitable, basically, to let them know that I contribute. I belong here as well. I don't need to prove myself. And I do get that, because I'll be honest with you, like Maiwa, till now I've always been saying Nigeria. And I was born here, I have the papers, everything. But I keep, because it's not like the same motive or the same reason where you're saying that, it's because that's what you want to hear. But it's, I guess, because
it's different. It's to each his own. For me, it's just like, I know what you want to hear, and I feel Nigerian, but I'm still Austrian though. guy, I'm Austrian because I fucking pay tax. So I want my money to work for me. That's what it is. If I'm not paying tax, I'm not able to claim anything because I'm not working for the state.
Yeah.
I'm not investing to the state. But I am investing to the state, and I'm doing so I can definitely claim both.
Yeah.
And also claim Nigeria. Because it's also emotional attachments.
Yeah, of course.
Alright, so just please let them know where they can find you.
So you can find me in the 22nd district.
On social media.
So on social media, I'm joking. And for the ladies in the 3rd district. No, no, you can find me in Instagram at Rilva Mogachi, and on Facebook Rilva Mogachi as well. And yeah, just call me.
I'll be there.
I'll be there.
Do you do consulting like my one?
Don't worry about it.
What
Don't
kind
worry
of
about
consulting? What kind of
Bye.
Okay. Now, but like on a lighter note, since we're like rounding up, please let us know a question for the round. If your girlfriend buys you a very expensive present, I don't know why I'm looking at you, but if your girlfriend buys you a very expensive gift, way more expensive than you have ever spent on her, is it tough to accept that kind of a gift?
Like for me,
I'm talking about like a jacket that's like 17K.
That Louis jacket.
Wait, did I show you? Did I show you?
hey, I would ask her if she's mad. If
Me too.
I would ask her if she's mad.
He got me too.
Like,
We
yo,
could have gone
are you mad?
we could have gone to US, or I don't know, whatever.
Why would you buy me 17K?
It's crazy.
But that was just, a number I had in my, or I saw a picture.
I was thinking you would say 700 or something like that. Then 17K. Damn.
Yeah, that's a jacket. No, that's a specific jacket.
But I would question, why am I together with that woman?
Why?
Because because that shows something. Because she feels like she needs to
Yeah, you're
convince
thinking-
me
nah,
by
nah,
getting
that's
something
not
material.
That's
You
not
know, I mean, it's
She has more money than you.
No.
And she's just trying to
That's
elevate you.
it. That's it. She has more. No, the
Like,
thing is,
seriously, she has more money than you. She's just trying to elevate you.
No,
You-
because
you
a
as
jacket,
a-
with a
because
jacket.
You said your love language was gift.
no,
So
exactly.
why-
No,
Did you perceive it?
But that's the
No,
thing
no,
now.
no.
So now, wait, but that's the thing. If that's not your love language, because what I notice is people that have certain love languages, they show their love by the one that they want to receive. Do you get that?
Obviously, someone has to be a giver. and
No,
someone has to
wait,
be a
no, but
receiver.
do you get that? Like now, for example, let's say your quality time and your acts of service, and you have someone that is physical touch. That person that your partner that wants physical touch, that's what they were giving you.
Mhm.
But actually, it's supposed to be reversed. She needs to know what's yours and give you yours,
Yeah.
and you need to know hers.
Yeah.
So now that person that gave you maybe that 17K jacket.
I'll run away.
But now the thing is, maybe that's because it's not your love language. Well, that's hers, maybe.
Yeah, that
So
means
that
she
means you
wants
want-
actually.
You need to talk that.
It
out.
depends, it depends where you are in life.
Definitely.
If obviously I'm dating someone, I'm together with someone of standard, of a higher standard, and
Yeah.
I'm also of a higher standard, it doesn't mean anything. It's like chicken change. Like 70K is like 70 euros to you.
Mhm.
So if we're on the same level,
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. But if the way that I'm now and you give me something, I can like 70K, I'll be asking like, come on, why the fuck would you do that?
So now in this state, you'd be like, why would you do that?
Yeah, because
You would run
I,
away.
I would
Run away, man.
no, because we're trying to build something. We are wasting 70K for what?
I wouldn't take it though.
I would take it and bring it back to the store, get the money back.
That's probably
and
what I
give it
would
to her.
do. That's probably what I would do. 17K.
You should be asking where's the jacket?
I saw you,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Okay,
give it to
yeah,
my
you
brother.
you guys are having the 17K, but just like something very expensive.
Very
So you
expensive.
won't keep it.
It depends. You have to name a price for me to decide.
Yeah, any price that is more
The
expensive.
things that I want are not of price, not of any value in that sense. I mean, if I can have a meet and greet with Ronaldo or Messi, they cannot pay that. That's a fantastic gift now.
Yeah, no, that's a good gift.
Seriously?
Of course, now you're mad. Touch Ronaldo once. I mean,
What does that do to you? What does that do?
Tingling sensation.
don't worry, Ronaldo will
Sneak
come
on
very
Facebook.
hard. When I show my DM, you see what's going on. Come on, like I don't care for like semantics, like those type of gifts.
I don't know why I would take the gift.
Yeah,
Just take the
because you're
gift.
materialistic. That's okay.
No, that's not the
It's
point.
okay,
It's
it's
like
okay, you're materialistic.
it's okay. Because it's like they're showing their appreciation or whatever. So it's just a gift.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I've heard people say I'm pressured now.
You're pressured.
Like they're pressured. Like what? Like that means the next gift I give her, it has to be either the same standard or top.
Oh,
Yeah, no, that's your own fault. Like, because
That's-
for me, I'm not pressured. I'll get a 10 euros, present. I would never buy her something more.
In your case, that 10 euros is a lot of money to you.
Why are you telling me? Why are you saying that?
That's why politicians need donations.
donate. Nah, fuck.
So, thank you guys.
It's really nice.
Let's go.
Really nice, man.
we are
On point.
On
point.
point.
Hey.
Bro,
That's
thanks
nice.
for inviting me.
Welcome.
On point. On point.